In this video, I'm going to show you how to put text inside a slightly more complex shape. And the example that I'm going to use is this cat. So your final image, you can use whatever object you want, just don't make it too complicated for your first attempt. So on the internet, I searched for a cat silhouette and I like this one. So I'm going to right click and copy image, go back to Illustrator, and I'm going to create a new document. I will call it text in a complex shape and put my name on it. Then, because my cat is more horizontal than vertical, I'm going to go ahead and leave it on, vertical. I'm going to leave it on vertical and click OK. Yours, you might choose the other option for your image depending on what it is. Now on the keyboard, Control V for paste. Select it with the black arrow, the selection tool. Using the corner handles and holding down Shift and Alt, click and drag to make the cat the appropriate size. And I'm going to click this button up here called Live Trace. So for Live Trace, this is the main control that you have over it is the threshold. The threshold right now is set kind of at a medium value, and for my cat that worked perfect. But for your image, it might not. You may bring the slider down this way to make it more true to the original, or you may click this way to make it less. So let me show you what both of those look like. So at 233, you'll notice it doesn't show up here until you click in another area. So I'm just going to randomly click in this box. So you can see it's given it less detail. So now I'm going to go click on this side and click in a random area, and there it's given it more detail. So this may or may not be an issue for your particular image. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with 128, which was the default. And the next thing that I'm going to do is click expand. What that does is add anchor points at various locations on the cat. Now what I have to do is delete all of the white parts, and it can be a little bit tricky because when I click off of this, you kind of can't see where the white is because it blends in with the background. So temporarily, I'm going to take the rectangle tool and draw a giant rectangle over this and turn that rectangle a random color red. Then on the keyboard, go ahead and hit Control bracket right next to P, and it will send it to the back. Now I can see clearly where the white is. I'm going to get the direct selection tool, click all the white areas and hit delete on the keyboard. Then I'll select the red and delete that too. Now before I go any further, I'm going to make a copy of my cat. So select it with the black arrow, push Control C for copy and Control F for paste in front. Now when I open this up, I can see I have two copies of the cat. On the bottom copy, I'm going to go ahead and lock it and turn the eyeball off. So I may or may not end up using that later, but you'll make that decision when you get to it. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do, just like in the last video, is break this up into different segments. So as I look at this, I want to chop off the head. That doesn't sound very nice, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a little segment right here, and then I'm going to create a segment for the tail. So to do that, I'm going to use the pen tool. I'm going to change the fill to none and change the stroke to white. And I'm going to make the stroke size, I think I'm going to make it size 4. Alright, I'm going to magnify this a little bit so I can see a little better what I'm doing. Get the pen tool. I'm going to guess that here's going to be a good starting point. Click and drag, and then click and drag over here. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to use the white arrow to adjust this side a little bit. What I don't want to do is I wouldn't want the white to like hit the tail or the white to like hit the cheek. I want it to be only on the part of the cat where I want to kind of make my section. Alright, Control minus on the keyboard to make the cat fit back on the page. Get the pen tool. Now I'm going to say about here, click and drag, and maybe over here, click and drag. Get the white arrow, go back and adjust this. I'm going to grab this little blue handle and make it more of a curve. Maybe I'll move it down just slightly. Alright, looks pretty good. Now I'm going to cut a little segment on the tail. So, pen tool. Click and, oops, I don't know why it attached to the tail right there. So Control Z to undo that. I'm going to use the magnifying glass and make this bigger so I don't mess it up. So click and drag. Control minus to make it smaller again. Control minus. And then I'll click and drag down here. Get my white arrow. Adjust this by moving it around. There we go. That looks good. Control 0 to fit it onto the screen. Alright, I have my sections. I'm going to take the black arrow, get this line, go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke, and do that to all three. I wonder if I can just use Control. Nope, I can't. Okay, so select it, Object, Path, Outline Stroke. I probably could do them all at the same time. Object, Path, Outline Stroke. Okay, now I'm going to select everything by drawing a box around it with the black arrow and get the Pathfinder panel, Window, Pathfinder, and first it's minus front and then divide, and then I'm going to go to Object, Ungroup. So now each one of these are separate little sections and I can click on them separately. Getting the text tool, naturally I am going to make my cat pink. So let's get the swatches and open this side menu. My favorite is True Match. So under Open Swatch Library, I'm going to go to Color Books and grab True Match because it has a million colors in it. Alrighty, so text tool, I'll just randomly choose this color. Control Z to undo. I just need to click off of that section so it's not highlighted anymore. Text tool, I will write cats, all caps. You could try, I don't think yours necessarily has to be all caps. You can try different things. I really like the Hobo, but maybe you should try out some different fonts and see if there's some other cool ones besides Hobo. And I'm gonna guess 125 for the size. Okay, I think that's too big. Let's say 100. I'm gonna move it over. Nah. Let's try 75. Oops, 75. Okay, I think that's better, but I don't want it to be black. I'm going to change it to pink. There we go. So now, Control and bracket right next to the P. Bracket will send that to the back. So now with the word selected, I'm going to hold down Shift and select the head. Go to Object, Envelope, Distort, Make with Top Object. And that looks so awesome. I love the way the C goes up into the ear and the S goes up into the ear. It really follows the shape of the head nicely. so I think I lucked out. Here on the second section, oh, I need to click off of that. I'm going to get the text tool. I'm going to write meow, M-O-E-W. Oops, M-E-O. Ah. Is that how you spell it? Yeah, okay. Highlight this, get my pink color there. I could choose a different pink if I wanted to. Yeah, let's choose a darker pink. And the size, I think this one needs to be bigger because it's a bigger segment, so let's try 125 for that and hit enter. I'm going to move this over that part of the cat. Control bracket, 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 bracket until it goes to the back. Hold down Shift, select the section of the cat and the text at the same time. Object, envelope distort, make with top object. Very cool. And I wonder what happens. I'm going to undo this, Control Z. I wonder what happens if I move, for example, deselect. If I move the text up here, if it will make the words distort differently. So Shift, get both of them, object, envelope distort, make with top object. Yeah, I think it did. So that's interesting. You can change how the words look inside the image by where you place the text. All right, so click off text, meow, M-E-O-W, get, let's see, let's make it this color, whoops. Let's make it this color pink. Okay, text tool, move it over. Let's put it right here. Control bracket, bracket until it goes to the back. Hold down Shift, get the segment, object, envelope distort, make with top object. Very cool. Now let me show you what happened when I tried to put text inside the tail. So text, let's just write cat again. And I'll make it this pink color right here. And because the tail is kind of skinny, let's make it like 48. I'm gonna put that here and Control bracket, bracket, Shift to select both. Now, envelope distort, make with top object. Yeah, not exactly what I wanted. It actually kind of looks pretty cool, but I can't read it. So I think that what might work is if I break this tail into like maybe one section here, maybe into 3 or 4 sections, it might look better. And I'm not sure how to solve that issue. But for now, I think what I'm going to do is just turn that section of pink and then call that finished. Now, what I can do, you have to make a decision, is to either leave this on there as a background color or leave the visibility turned off. So you can have the white show through, or you can have it black, and obviously it doesn't have to stay black. You could change it to yellow or blue or whatever color you wanted to for various different effects. So let's see what blue looks like. Here, let's try this blue. Yeah, so anyway, you make the choice. It's your project, so whatever you think looks good. Crazy. Okay, so that is it for now.